no doubt aware, Michael Bay is on an eternal and never-ending quest to destroy all of our childhoods. He's about to destroy the Ninja Turtles, and, well, the thing is, what he doesn't understand is the Ninja Turtles can't be destroyed. Much like the spirit of childhood, it reigns and lives forever in all of us. Megan Fox sucks! And so, with that in mind, I've decided to keep the flame alive to the extent that it can be. So I've gone back in time, and I've dug up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES. I'm gonna play it and talk about it, and we're gonna have a good time. And we're gonna ignore the horror that awaits us in August. You know, when I was a kid and I got this, I was really excited because Ninja Turtles was my favorite thing in the world when I was a kid, and it still is to this day, to be honest with you. And the title screens and the intro, it was just so awesome. It's got one of my favorite themes from the NES. That's awesome. It comes in with a It's got all four of the. Look at the vignettes of the turtles. Then you got Splinter. He's pointing up. What could he be pointing? Oh, did someone kidnap Link from Zelda? That doesn't look like April O'Neil. It looks like Link. But let's push start. Here we go. And you know what I love about this game? Look at that. I pushed start, and guess what? I didn't get a 30-minute cutscene explaining the motivation of the turtles and why I'm doing this. Look at this. I'm immediately above a sewer, and there's a guy across the river yelling obscenities at me. Welcome to New York. You know what I mean? Then you drop into the sewer. Look at this. I don't even know what these things are, and that's the thing. So, like I was saying, when I was a kid, I was really excited about this game, and it's a good game. But then I started playing it, and they're like, what are these, insects? Like, it looks like a giant ant. And then finally, you know, ninjas show up and start throwing stars at me. But they don't really look like foot soldiers, you know? And that's a problem with this game. You know, for some reason, when they put Turtles on the NES, and I don't know why, you know, they had this awesome arcade game, but when they put it on the NES, they made this, and it's not bad. But it's not very Turtles either. It's like none of the enemies are really Turtle enemies. It's just kind of weird. One of my favorite things about this game was deciding which turtle to power up with the various, you know, weapons, like the ninja stars. Because every turtle's slightly different. Not really. They have different weapons. So like right now, I'm gonna fight Bebop. And you know, there's only one turtle. The map shows your position. Thanks, Splinter. There's only one turtle to even use when there's a boss fight, and that's Donatello. For some reason, he was grossly overpowered in this game. Look at the bow staff. It causes tremendous damage. And the great thing about the bow staff, it causes damage even when you're not facing the enemy. So you could be a coward, and you could still cause damage. I always liked going into this little cabin, too, even though you have no reason to. Just because there's that pizza at the end. And this was another thing in the 80s, you know. This taught us as kids. Hey, there's a reward there at the end of the thing. There's a full pizza. But you know what? You're going to have to work for it. It's not like today where every kid gets a trophy in T-ball and they don't even keep score. Guess what? We learned firsthand in the 80s, sometimes you're going to lose. You're not always going to win. Sometimes there's going to be a guy with a chainsaw standing at the top of the ladder. What are you going to do about it? And one of the most frustrating things about this game, here I am in this cabin. I just killed this effing guy, but guess what? He's still there. All the enemies respawn in this game, and it's an effing nightmare. And then here's a cool thing. So here's this guy made of fire. Maybe I don't want to fight that guy. I can go back up, out of the sewer, back down in, and now it's different. Now it's the little UFO thing from Batteries Not Included, which is another great thing about the 1980s. Now we're approaching the first real boss battle. Bebop was like the mid-level boss, but now we're approaching Rocksteady. Here are more giant insects flying around. Here's one of the classic Nintendo tricks. The boss battle with Rocksteady. You just stand right here and hammer down. He can't do anything about it. April O'Neil. So if you've never played this game, there are a couple things about it that you need to know. One, we talked about the enemy design, which is very random and weird, not that great. But it's also brutally difficult, as many NES games are. And another thing about it is that each turtle has a different weapon, obviously, but they also, like, each weapon has a different usefulness, a different ability. Like Mikey's really quick with the nunchucks. He can really, like, attack quickly, but he only takes like a little bit of health off when he does that. Whereas Donatello, see, I'll switch to Donnie. His attack's a lot slower with the bow staff, but it's also way more powerful. So there were subtle differences in terms of the Turtles, at least in terms of their weapons. Although I think the consensus pick on the most worthless turtle is Raphael. Because look at this, I'll switch to Raph. And his weapons is, it's not much, man. It's very tiny, you know, he doesn't have much range with it. It's quick like Mikey, but not a lot of strength to it. Leo's sort of the he's in the middle. His katanas have a nice reach. They're not as fast as Mikey and Raph, but they're also not as slow as Donatello. Also, like, I never understood as a kid the kids who were fans of Leonardo. Because Leonardo's just so vanilla. He's just so in the middle, you know? Alright, now we get to one of my favorite things about this game. I just always love beating these jabronis up that are up on the bridge. But I know people hate this part of the game, but like I said, this is one of my favorites. It's the dam. Let's jump in. Here we go. So the whole point in this level is you've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. You have to swim through this entire dam. It's like a maze, and you have to defuse all the bombs. And it's notoriously difficult. Although this is the one thing that I never really had a problem with when I was a kid. Although I don't really remember where they all are, so watch. I'll probably die for the first time in my life doing this. Defuse that one. And then when you pause, April gives you the rundown. Oh, now 5 bombs are left. Hurry up, she says. Hey, April, don't get lippy. Now this is the part that's tough because there's like this electric seaweed that like shocks you, so you have to avoid that. "20 seconds. "14. We got it. 12 seconds left. Okay. It's amazing how, like, I can't remember things from yesterday, but I can remember where all of those bombs are in the dam level in the Ninja Turtles. This says a lot about the kind of person I am. And then this is the great thing. Like, when I was a kid, I did that, and I thought, oh, the Turtles are going home. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Then the place has crashed, and Splinter's gone, and Dickhead Shredder shows up. Like, Shredder's such a dick. Who didn't love getting in the turtle van either? This is awesome. And then look at that. Look how cheap that is. You come up the ladder and the guy with the floating heads is waiting there to kill you. And he's taking Donatello, which means we're all screwed. So now all I have is Leonardo. And Leonardo's got 1 block of health. He's not equipped for this. This is not good. Tonight Shredder's gonna dine on turtle soup, I fear. Here's another cheap one. Look at this jump. How am I supposed to do that? Oh. And then of course if I fall here, guess what? Respawn, because that's so much fun when you're 8 years old. And of course we fall. And there's more of the blue guys. Now I have to get all the way back through there with half of a block of health. It's not gonna happen. Watch. Dickhead fire-breathing guy's gonna be right above the ladder. How much you wanna bet? Yep! Bye-bye, Leonardo! Now all our fortunes hinge on Raphael, and guess what? If Raph's in a bad mood, you never know what's gonna happen. He could just go AWOL. I've used up all my ninja stars. Oh no, Raph! Well, you know what? I think what we've inadvertently done here today is proven that Michael Bay won't be the first person to try to destroy the Turtles. Konami did it. I'm sorry, Ultra. They did it too with the first Ninja Turtles. This game's not very good. I mean, I like it a lot, but I'm adult enough because I grew up in the 80s to admit when I like something that's not very good. This is not very good. Bryce Dallas Howard. That's a better April. Emma Watson. She'd be the best April. She plays April in my dreams every night.